Hello everyone, BuzZz Killer here, and welcome back to Space Engineers. Now, I know it's been a long time since I posted a build video or anything for Star Citizen or Space Engineers, but let me give you a little backstory. So, a little while ago I upgraded to Windows 10, and it caused a lot of issues for Space Engineers, at least on my computer. So I figured I'd wait until some patches came out, hoping they would fix the issue. However, it didn't happen. And Star Citizen, of course, released their PTU, or not PTU, the social module. So I was playing that. And then Metal Gear Solid came out, and I've been playing that. Then Destiny expansion came out, and I've been playing that. And it's sort of, Space Engineers sort of got put on the back burner until, well, just recently, this weekend. But anyway, a friend of mine told me, when I told him I was having these issues, he said, why don't you try running it in Windows 7 compatibility mode? Well, I'll give it a shot. And while it's still a little buggy and my frame rate is really bad, at least it's playable enough for me to finish my little mystery project that I hinted to in my last video. And that is, of course, this ship right here, which, as my Star Citizens will know, this is the Drake Cutlass Black. And this is the little pirate ship of the game. So the ship wasn't too difficult to build. The biggest issue was, of course, the bugginess and the crappy frame rate. But it actually came together fairly easily. The scale's not perfect. I tried to keep it in scale with my other ships at least, but I definitely had to take a few liberties. The front cockpit here, you notice, is pretty wide, and on the actual ship in Star Citizen, it's actually fairly narrow. But in order to get the Space Engineer's avatar to be able to walk around in there at least enough to get to the pilot seats, I had to make it a little bit wider. But I tried to stay as true to the ship as possible, but there's some other things I had to cheat on, and I'll tell you about those here in a little bit. But for now, let's just take a look around the ship. Now, I did put landing gear on it. It's not retractable. I got some feedbacks on my freelancer saying, why didn't you put the landing gear on? And I figured, well, I'll go ahead and give this one a shot. I'm not really too happy with it. I'll probably remove it when I'm playing with the ship. But I'll put this on the Steam store as is, and if you like the landing gear, you can keep it. If you don't, feel free to remove it. But as you can see, I've got the full windows and the glass from the small ship mod. I've got the weapons. That's the big sniper rifle from the small ship mod. I believe it comes from that one. And standard weapons. I've got the turret up top, and that actually works. And I'll show you that here in a moment. The engines are kind of basic shaped. And one of the things I had to cheat on is I had to turn off thruster damage, because there was no way I could pack enough engines in this ship in the limited amount of space that's left over and get the ship to actually fly with any performance. I did add the little maneuvering thrusters under here, and while yes, they're on rotors, they're really not functional. They're just visual, because the thrusters don't actually work with the rest of the thrusters, but they do turn on and makes it look good. But putting it on the rotors was the only way I could get that angle. So let's take a look inside. And yes, this is my first angled door, and I kind of like the way it came out. I had to make some these flat blocks instead of using the standard edged blocks like on here, in order to get it to fit and not bang itself to death every time I open and closed it. There's still some gaps when I close it, but overall it works fairly well. There, you can see through there a little bit. I think it came out pretty good though. So in the main cargo area, it's pretty basic in here, but the Cutlass is a very basic ship. Has the 2 beds for the sleeping area, the little toilet, of course, your engine access points, which I've put a little control panel on to access ship functions. I've got the jump seats here. Oh, and yes, the beds do work as well. And so does the toilet. I did not put the lower cargo hatch in, the EVA hatch that is usually right here. And of course you cannot access the turret from the inside. That would have been pretty much impossible in Space Engineers. Got the door here that gives you access to the front cockpit area. Again, this very basic. Just got some lighting. And this area. Even with the widening of the cockpit, I still can't actually walk on this spot. As I will move forward, you'll see I kind of rise up. I'm actually walking on the edge there. But I do have access to both pilot seats. I'll sit up front. I can see some panels I threw up there. I thought it'd be kind of funny, since this is a low-end ship, that it would have some issues with the panels there. But in the, oh, let me get back in. In the cockpit, I have my standard functions. I have my different weapon selections for the Gatling gun, sniper rifle, and rocket launcher that's underneath where the missiles pods are. I've got the exterior lights, the gravity, thrusters, gyros, and the power. And on the second page, I have doors and some additional lights. I put a red alert on this one, similar to some of my other ships, where I can turn off the main interior lights, turn on the red flashing lights, and play a little alarm. Works pretty well. Let me go ahead and turn that back to normal. Let me go ahead and open up the hangar door so we can take it for a little spin. Let's see if the fastest way would probably go to this panel back here. Alright, lights. I'm not going to play the alarm, I'll just open the doors here. Hopefully by the time we get back to the ship, those will be opened up for us. Close the ramp. And I like flying from the back seat. It gives a little bit better view. And I see our doors are ready and open. Oops, wrong button. I believe I have not powered up yet. Let's go ahead and turn on nav lights, gravity, thrusters, gyro. Main power. So for nav lights, I went kind of simple on this one. I didn't put the red green like I normally do. I just put 2 strobes, one on top and one on bottom. Alright, let's take her out. Disable our landing gear. And you'll see the engines I've added throughout the ship will clip, the effects will clip through the hull, because I had to put engines everywhere on this thing to get it to fly really nice. And it does pretty well. I'd say it's pretty comparable to the Freelancer Max I built before. But once again, I do have the Gatling guns, The sound's not playing. But it fires the turret and the ones in the wings. I have the little sniper rifle. You can barely see that one as well. And then the rockets. Go ahead and slip outside again. And I'll show you the turret. Now again, this ship is not set up for survival mode. It is just a vanity ship. And in fact, I'll have to show you how to disable your thruster damage. Otherwise, this ship will tear itself apart as you fly it, because it'll just burn itself to death. But the turret works. I have two button settings in here. One to make sure you have your Gatling gun selected, and it fires the ship guns as well. Again, but in order to get the turret to turn, I have to turn on the rotor, and that allows me to move. As soon as I turn off that rotor, it puts its brakes on, and the turret won't move again. So it's a nice little feature to keep the turret from messing up, from flapping around while you're flying. There are some clearance issues with the weapons. If you point backwards, you will destroy part of your ship there. So just be careful. It's just like the Indiana Jones movie with Sean Connery. I'm sorry, son. They got us. But terrible Sean Connery impressions aside, that about covers it. So I'm going to go ahead and close for a second, and I'm going to pop back into the main menu and show you how to disable thrusters so that you can fly this ship without destroying it. Stand by. Okay, and we're back. Sorry for the cut there, but one of the problems I have with Space Engineers still is whenever I try to close the game, it completely locks up my computer, so I have to restart. But anyway, to disable thruster damage, go into any world you have built, or if you've created a world already, hit your load button, and select your save file, and go to Edit Settings. And here you can see I'm in creative mode. I've got the name, you can put a description, but you're looking for this Advanced tab here. And once you're in here, just go down to the bottom, and here is thruster damage. Just make sure that that is unchecked. Otherwise, as I said, the Cutlass's engines are so close together they will just destroy each other. And that's how you can fly the ship without burning yourself to death. Alright. Well, that about covers it. I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like or subscribe button. And until next time, this has been BuzZz Killer, and I'll see you guys in the verse.